Hello and welcome back. It's bicycle racing season. Here we go. Tour Down Under, the first pro race of the season. And while I painted one painting, this is the my second painting of the season. So this race, I'm always looking forward to one because I think the last time I painted bike racing was, let me think, 5 months ago, 6 months ago, something like that. The World Championships in September, and this is January, so I can't paint and do the math at the same time. But I will take, while I'm not doing the math, to remind you to please, if you like what I'm doing here, to let me know that. Give it a thumbs up. If you're not a follower already, that would be lovely if you would. But so this is how I start the year every year, although this is the first time that the Tour Down Under has been raced. It is raced in Australia, and at the start of COVID, both New Zealand and Australia reacted quickly to the dangers of COVID and locked down very quickly, and so this race has not been raced since January. Well, actually, it wasn't raced in January 2020. So actually, talking about that, this is a convenient moment. So the person I'm drawing right now is giving warning to the riders as they come down this steep hill, or steep little rise, and swinged about to go underneath a overpass. So this volunteer is holding out and flagging with a red flag to warn Caleb Ewan of this sharp turn and to make sure he goes the right way and not into the fencing. I don't know. Why would you have to worry about fencing? Seems like a pretty obvious thing that's there. But these riders are going flat out in a time trial, and sometimes their exhaustion level is such that they don't really even see what's going on in front of them. Call this fair warning. Now, the race started with really great sunny, well, not necessarily sunny, but dry conditions, and a good time trialist, and Bettiol here was able to lay a great time before the rain started. And so you can see Caleb Ewan is hitting this corner a little more gingerly in fears of crashing out. Now he's a sprinter, and his chances for winning stages come later, most particularly tomorrow, where he will have the chance to really show his sprinting powers. But this particular time trial is incredibly short. It's a prologue, and they tend to be short, but this is only 5.5 kilometers. So a very short time trial by Pro Tour standards, but that is partially because it's a prologue. So he's got a chance to post a really good time as well, although, like I said, he is racing in the rain, as is everybody after the first 4 or 5 riders. So if you had the good fortune of starting early, and that was a decision made by the teams on which riders would go early and which riders would go later. So his team, and Bettiol is the team leader, his team decided it would be best to take their chances with an early start, hoping to beat the rain. But those decisions are made 24 hours before racing starts. So it's a gamble. You never know if it's going to rain, when it's going to rain. And of course, going later, all conditions being the same, you can see the times. You've got a way to evaluate your ride. Bettiol was only like the third guy to finish, so he had no chance of knowing how his time was stacking up against other riders. Not really. So I am working in technically my wife's studio. She has a question she wants to ask me.
If somebody is making the artwork for a book, they are called
an illustrator.
An illustrator.
I don't know if you heard the question, but you certainly heard my answer. And actually, when I started in college, I started studying illustration. That's why I know the answer to her question. I thought that would be...
I've never heard of illustrator. What's an illustrator?
We all have brain farts.
It's called face farting in our family.
Yes, our son, who has a sense of humor only rivaled by Bridget's or his own daughter's, refers to a burp as a face fart.
And then the other way around.
And of course, yes. And of course, yeah. Clearly, if it's a face fart...
We apologize if you're insulted.
Actually, if you're insulted. I know, you thought it was all going to be about watercolors and cycling and not about body function. How silly you all are. So meanwhile, back at the bike race, and this is all raced in Adelaide. It's one of the few races where the riders get to spend every night in the same hotel. There's no moving from town to town. It's one I hope to, which is akin to most world championships, where everything happens, and so there are multiple laps on every one of the stages coming up. Obviously, at 5.5 kilometers, there's only one lap on this one. But actually, just putting in the finishing touches right now as he leans his bike into this corner. And I don't expect this. He just doesn't look like he's going all that fast. Of course, right now, you're looking at a paused image. He's clearly not going fast. So that is how I do these. I watch the race. I see something that strikes me visually or as part of the tale of the race and pause the video, paint this painting, and then go on. And I paint them as live. So while this race, this particular prologue stage, was aired live starting at 3 in the morning, because I'm painting on the east coast of the United States and they are racing in Australia. So I get very confused about the time part. They are 16, 17 hours ahead of us. But so this is the piece. All of these will be on my website at gregliech.com. You can read more about the racing and the paintings at my blog, theartofcycling.blogspot.com. And I hope you all check it out. And of course, everything is for sale. So I hope if you want to get a painting of Caleb Ewan, you like this one and we'll do so. Thanks for watching.